Welcome back to another fun-filled Microsoft Word 2010 video for Microsoft Office Projects class here at wonderful Wilmington High School. This video will cover two things. One, footnotes, which you will need for research papers. If you are typing a paper and need to expand on something that was mentioned in your paper, you will need a footnote and or an endnote. In this case, we're going to talk about footnotes. And we'll also talk about putting in a bibliography, or for MLA style, a works cited page. So those are the two concepts we will cover. Both are fairly straightforward, but you've got to know where to click and when to click before getting into it. So first off, footnotes are pretty easy to do. As with the last couple videos I have done, I copied a portion of an article from ESPN.com. So footnotes, basically you type in something. Let's take this first paragraph here, which has a bunch of different quotes and things like that in it. You go to the end of the line or end of the information you want footnoted. You put your insertion point there. In this case, I'm putting it at the end of the paragraph, at the end of the sentence. A footnote could be in the middle of a paragraph. It all depends on where that information is coming from that you want to add detail to. All right. Then from this point, you would go to References tab in the References ribbon. Okay. And basically right in the middle of your face there, under the Footnotes grouping, is Insert Footnote. So you would click that, and now make note of what happens when I click Insert Footnote. It will take you all the way to the bottom of your page. A footnote is at the bottom of a page. Okay, so the computer realizes once you've clicked Insert Footnote, all right, this information goes at the bottom of the page. So from here, you basically would type out the information you would like to add. To add to your document. All right. Now, one of the big things with footnotes is once you have entered a footnote, you need to then go back and click out of the footnote. Many students in the past have continued typing and continued their paper in the footnote section. You do not want to do that, because then you have to copy and paste, or cut and paste, and basically it's a pain in the butt to get your text and everything back to where it's supposed to be. So you need to make sure once you've inserted that footnote, you've typed your information. You also need to format it. The book will go over the format process of it. Basically, you need to format it just like your paper would be formatted. Same font, same line spacing, and all that in MLA style. So once you're done with it, you need to go back up to the paper, and I'm just going to scroll up here, and I will click to where we inserted it, and now I'm back in the paper. And you can also see, I'm going to zoom in here once, twice, 3 times. You'll also see the superscript number 1, which is the marker that indicates that you have a footnote down here at the bottom. It also, if you hover your I-beam over that, it will say the information you would like to add to your document. In other words, it gives you a screen tip of your footnote. An endnote is very much the same thing as a footnote, the only difference being the endnote is at the end of a document. Okay, it is not at the bottom of the page like a footnote. Okay, you can insert an endnote in the same area. It's not the big button, however, it is right next to it. It says Insert Endnote, and that again will go at the end of your paper. Okay. Now, moving on, that's footnotes and endnotes. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward there. Again, the biggest thing there and the biggest mistake I have seen in the past is students do not remember to go back up to the body of their paper and click in the body to continue typing. They just type their paper down here. Okay? And the footnote, remember again, is below this line. This line will be there. That is the line that separates the body of the paper from the footnote. So please be sure to know where the body of your paper is and the footnote. If you're inserting the footnote correctly and you're typing your paper, your text right here will bounce over that and start onto the next page. Okay, an example would be, let me hit enter a couple times here just to get down to that section. So I am down here. I think I can do enter one more time. As I am typing, actually, let me just copy a sentence from up here, and I will show you what I am talking about. I'll just copy this much. We'll go copy, come down to this line. We will go paste. Okay, so everything's fine there, and I'm typing along, and as you will see, it bounces over to the next line. Okay, and I can type and type and type. You're going to see an example of Microsoft Word repagination here, hopefully in a second, as soon as I get this other. And yes, I know I am not typing anything but gibberish right now, which is fine. Maybe you won't see repagination. And sometimes because of the footnotes there, sometimes as you type, Microsoft Word wants to make sure there's at least 3 or 4 lines of text on the next page. So once there is that many pages, that first line will bounce back up. But in this case, because of the footnote, it will stay on that second page. Okay, but that is about it for the footnote. The other topic and concept I wanted to cover in this demonstration would be the bibliography. Okay, the bibliography is in the citations and bibliography section. Okay, the book is going to cover this in greater detail. However, I just wanted to make sure you knew where it was. If you click bibliography, there's a button right there. If you click that, it will give you options of a bibliography or works cited. We will be doing the works cited. Now, just because you enter this, once you have put in your sources, and the book will discuss how to put in the sources, and I may do a further video to explain that. Right now, I don't think I need to at this point, because I think it's pretty well explained in the book if you follow the directions. Okay, and you do need to follow the directions exactly, because you will be inserting citations and all sorts of things. Okay, but if you do it correctly and you insert the works cited page, there is still some formatting. Many students in the past have basically just clicked on that and said, oh, I'm done. That's not necessarily true. So you need to make sure you do the correct formatting once you have inserted the works cited page. There is a bunch of things you can do in here. Managing sources, basically you can do, I do have some left over from my last class, so maybe I will put these over there. Copy 1 over, we'll copy 2 over. Okay, and we can close that. This is the source managers. These are sources I have already added previous. So I will click close after I added them to the current list. So now they are ready to be inserted. Okay. If I wanted a citation basically means it's something that is being cited within your paper. It says, hey, this is where I got this from. This is the information I want in there. Okay. Again, the book will explain how to put it in a lot better than I can at this point. So once you get through the step-by-step, you'll understand it a lot better. Now, as I just did, I threw over some sources into the current, excuse me, to the current bibliography. So we're going to go ahead and insert the works cited, and as I click it, it will give me the works cited page. Okay. Now remember, excuse me, I'm sorry about that. Remember, a works cited page has to be on its own page. So we would actually go ahead and let me hit enter here and probably insert a page break. So works cited is then on our own page. Now, you will notice the hanging indent is already happening here. Okay, you need to center that and you need to double space that in order for that to be correct. Okay, that all needs to be done for a works cited page to be correct. And that's about it. Bibliographies are fairly easy to do as long as you enter the information correctly. And again, that is about it on bibliographies and footnotes and endnotes. Hopefully you have learned a little something, and now you can move on to the next step. Remember, please stay up to date on your checklist so I know where you are and what you need to get accomplished.